Hey everyone, we're looking at solving equations. This is kind of like part two. We're going to be looking at some more complex equations. So let's begin. Have 3 multiplied by x plus 2 is equal to negative 9. Okay, so in so many of these kind of more complex equations, there's more than one way to solve things. And so let's go through 2 different ways to solve this particular equation. The first we'll do over here. This is done by multiplying the 3 by both terms inside. This is no different from when you multiply the polynomial by a constant number. So 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times 2 is plus 6. Now that is what's equal to negative 9. After we do this, we subtract 6 from both sides. 3x would be equal to negative 15. And then finally, we divide by 3. So we get x is equal to negative 5. Now that's one way to do this equation. Another way to do this equation, which we'll do over here, I'll just rewrite it, is actually to divide everything by 3. So I'm going to divide this by 3. And what ends up happening here is I have x plus 2 multiplied by 3, and then I'm dividing by 3, so that cancels it. And then I also have to divide negative 9 by 3. So now I have x plus 2 is equal to negative 3. Now I want to subtract 2 from both sides. Negative 3 subtract 2 is negative 5. So what's really important is that no matter how we do this, so long as we follow the steps correctly, we do end up with the same answer. This would be pretty silly if we didn't. So keep that in mind throughout this entire process. There's always there's almost always another way to do this. So let's look at another example. So we're going to have 2 times x minus 4 is equal to 4 multiplied by x plus 2. And again, I'll show you how to do this in 2 different ways. So the first being, I'll actually just kind of rewrite everything again. So the first being, I'm going to divide everything by 2. That's going to cancel this. I'll be left with x minus 4. Over on the right side, well, what's 4 divided by 2? Now that shows up in front of the x plus 2. At this point, I can expand this out, similar how we did up here, to be 2x plus 4 is equal to x minus 4. X is equal to 2x plus 8. What did I do there? Well, I used to have minus 4, so I added 4 to both sides. That went away. 4 plus 4 is 8. Next up, I will subtract 2x from both sides. So x subtract 2x, that's negative x, is equal to positive 8. So negative x is equal to positive 8, so positive x is equal to negative 8, which would be our value of x. Okay, so that's method 1. Another way to do this might be just to actually not do this division, but actually just expand everything out to begin with. So if we expanded everything out, we'd have 2x minus 8. That's 2 times x, and 2 times negative 4 is equal to 4x plus, well, 8. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 2 is 8. So now we kind of gather our like terms. I'll put all of the numbers on the right side, so I'll add 8 to both sides. I'll have 4x plus 16. That's equal to 2x. And then I'll subtract 2x from both sides as well. Or sorry, subtract 4x from both sides. 2x subtract 4x, that would be negative 2x is equal to 16. So now I'm dividing both sides by negative 2. And therefore x is equal to negative 8. Just like we did down here. Okay. We shall kind of do something different. Now, I think it would be nice to have one that you can try first. So, you should try this out on your own. Maybe pause the video and take a crack at things. Try that now. Alright, so here would be our solution. And I might not do this the exact same way that you do it. So you might have to wait to the very, very end just to see if you're kind of thinking about things right. So what I'll actually try first is I'll multiply everything by 2. When I do that, I'll have 6 multiplied by this is equal to 2x minus 7. I get 6 because 3 times 2 is 6. So now I'll actually, 2x minus 7. Now I'll expand things out. So 6 times 2 is 12x minus 24 is equal to 2x minus 7. So now I'll take 2x from both sides to get 10x minus 24 is equal to negative 7. Carry this on up here. 10x minus 24 is equal to negative 7. Now we'll add 24 to both sides. To get 10x is equal to 17. And then divide everything by 10. So x is going to be equal to 17 over 10, or 1.7. Okay, let's try a few more examples. And as I continue to just do more and more of these, I'm going to try to add on more layers of things you can see that make these kind of complicated. So 2 over 3 multiplied by x plus 4 is equal to 3 over 5 multiplied by 5x plus 15. And again, I'll give you a couple different ways to do this. And it kind of just depends on what you see. So the first little trick that I'll show is I'm going to multiply everything, both sides, by 15. Now why 15? Well, because that's 3 multiplied by 5. So that's what I'm going to do. So if I multiply this by 15, I put that up here. And I can also kind of put it up here. So that is a multiplication of both sides by 15. That doesn't change anything. And I guess you may not be clear on why I'm doing that. So I'll put a 15 multiplied by 2 over 3 here. And we'll kind of work this through. So what's 15 times 2? That's 30. 30 divided by 3, that's 10. So that's one way you can think about it. Actually, my brain does it a little bit differently. 15 divided by 3, that's 5, and 5 times 2 is the 10 that we get. So it's a little different, but in the end, when I multiply the left side by 15, I end up with simply 10 times x plus 4. You may be wondering why I did that. Well, no one really likes fractions, so I got rid of that fraction. So next up, we have kind of a similar idea. See if you can think about what that's going to turn out to be, that 15 times 3/5. So I'll go through how I think about that again. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. We get 5x plus 15. Okay, so next up we'll have, well, I think at this point let's just kind of multiply everything out to get 10x plus 40 is equal to 45x plus 9 times 15, that's 135. Okay, and now let's gather our like terms. I'll take 10x from both sides. And then I'll subtract 135. That's going to give me negative 95 is equal to 35x. And x is going to be equal to negative 95 over 35. It's a pretty messy fraction, so let's maybe get a clearer picture of what that equals. So negative 95 divided by 35, we get roughly negative 2.714, and that will repeat, kind of so on and so forth. So that is our answer for that. And like I said, I want to give a couple different ways that we can do this. And so let's go through kind of another way. This is a little different. So same question, so we should end up with this as an answer. Just keep that in mind. I'll rewrite what I have here. Over 5, not 3 over 15. We're multiplying by 5x plus 15. Okay, so this is a bit of a strategy that you can use when you recognize some things that are very nice. And what's nice about this is on the right side of the equation, 5x I should say, 5x is divisible by 5. 15 is also divisible by 5. So I can actually kind of expand this out nicely, even though it's a kind of not nice fraction. So this becomes kind of 3 times 5 divided by 5. So that just completely goes away. So I have 3x plus, I believe, 9. And so you can always use this little thing on the side here. 3 times 15 divided by 5, or 15 divided by 5 is 3, so we have 3 times 3. Okay, so actually that's one step that makes this complicated thing look actually way nicer. Unfortunately, on the left side, I can't quite do something so nice. And so this is another thing we could try and do. I'm just going to multiply everything by 3. So that cancels. And I'll have 2. 2 times x plus 4 is equal to, well, I got multiplied by 3, so it's 3x times 3. That's 9x. And 9 times 3 is 27. I'll expand this out. 2x plus 8 is equal to 9x plus 27. We shall take away 9x from both sides. That's going to be negative 7x plus 8 is equal to 27. Then we'll take away 8 from both sides. We'll have negative 7x is equal to 19. Okay. Next up, we'll divide by negative 7. So x is equal to negative 19 over 7. I think that's good to leave it like that. And the last thing we'll do here is we'll actually do this division. You'll see that we get the exact same answer we did before. So both of these methods work. It's just trying to show some tips and tricks that you can use when solving equations. Just take a look at what you have and maybe say, what can I do here? What can I do to make this maybe a little bit easier? That's all for now. I think there'll be one more video coming up for you guys to watch.